What is the threat today from Russia?
Well, I think it's significant. It's always 9/11 is a difficult day because I think, obviously, first and foremost for the families and loved ones who lost somebody. But for everybody who responded to that, I was in Boston at the time, it carries this indelible imprint. And I can't help but think about 9/11, that we had a Republican president who rallied the nation behind our common beliefs to kind of bring the entire might of the United States to bear against those who had attacked us. And when you think about today, where we're being attacked by this, almost 200,000 dead from a pandemic, where our elections are under assault, and we have another Republican president, but this time doing nothing but pouring gasoline on those divisive issues within our society, let alone not lifting a finger to those threats that face us. But Russia absolutely is first and foremost attacking us now. They're doing it in the same way and better ways than they did in 2016. And I have every expectation that is only going to increase as we approach November.
Well, let's stay with your point. I mean, how much more can the Russians do than what you just described Donald Trump as having done to the country? Taking this open wound that is more than 190,000 Americans who have died, admitting on a taped interview with Bob Woodward that he intentionally lied about the danger it posed, to downplay it. And at every point, stoking divisions around race, turning the intelligence, he called the intelligence agencies Nazis before he was inaugurated. He launched a years-long war against the FBI and the DOJ. You are not in your job, but you're in good company. Neither is Jim Comey, neither is Andrew McCabe, neither are most of the senior leaders who fought Russia covertly or overtly or in any way, fought all of our enemies. They're not there anymore. I mean, how much more is there on Russia's to-do list for us?
Well, I think of plenty. Look, if you compare the domestic situation here in the United States now compared to 2016, we have rioting going on. We have protesters pulling out guns and shooting each other. We had nothing like that in 2016. And when you look at Russia's goal, Russia isn't trying to, the administration, this administration has said that Russia is trying to hurt Biden and help Trump. But at the end of the day, Russia doesn't much care who gets elected in the United States. What they're trying to do is cause us to fight amongst ourselves, to be so consumed with internal conflict that we completely back away from any sort of leadership role around the world. That's their ultimate goal. They are trying to advance their interests, and the best way they can do that is stoke these divisions. Now, when they find in the United States a president who is doing exactly the same thing as part of his campaign strategy, that gives them enormous leverage. And coupled with that, I was able to say in the book that there are things that we knew the Russians were planning to do in 2016 that they didn't. I have every expectation that those things are absolutely still relevant and possible. And they've spent the last 4 years honing those techniques to seek to use them again if it will advance their cause.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.